Hello you guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is one that has actually been requested, which is like, so exciting. So thank you for supporting me and coming back with all your questions and keeping me on my toes. As per your requests, I am very excited to share with you guys a little bit about UBC's meal plan, as well as some tips and tricks to both save money and eat a little healthier while on this meal plan. With that being said, let's just jump into today's video and I'll start sharing my experience on the meal plan and what I did to not get the freshman 15. Right out the gate, meal plans are only required if you live in first year residences, and they become an option once you get to upper year residences. If you're in first year and you live in Totem, Vanier, or Orchard Commons, you will most definitely have a meal plan. Within each of those residence areas, there is one main dining hall. So for Vanier, there is Gather, for Orchard Commons, there's Open Kitchen, and then for Totem, there is Feast. Each of those dining halls have a system. They've got their breakfast bar, they've got their grill house, they've got like the multicultural station, they've got the salad bar, and essentially they just have a whole bunch of different stations where you can go and order what you want. There's a lot of flexibility when it comes to dietary accommodations, and if they don't have something that you can eat, then they will do their best to actually introduce it. So that's kind of just like the gist. It's like a food court, but it's a healthy, glorified, nice food court. When you buy into a UBC meal plan, there are usually 3 different tiers, and they recommend one over the other based off of how much food you eat. And quite honestly, even if you get the largest tier, at least from what I've heard, it generally doesn't end up being enough for the types of people that would go and get the largest tier. When you buy into one of these meal plans, you have your residence dollars and you have your flex dollars. Your residence dollars, you can use at any of the dining halls. It doesn't have to be the one in your residence area. And they can also be used at a select few restaurants across campus. The thing with your residence dollars is that you get a discount. I believe it's about 25%, but that discount is only applicable to the residence dining halls. There are also a few other like fast food chains on campus that accept residence dollars. And then next you've got your flex dollars, and your flex dollars have flexibility. Your flex dollars can be used at pretty much any other like store or food chain on campus that doesn't accept your residence dollars, and that accounts for a lot of them. There is a full breakdown for where you can use your residence versus your flex dollars on UBC's website somewhere. I'll link that down below for you guys. Another thing to think about when it comes to your residence and your flex dollars is that they're technically non-refundable. They do carry through from year to year, so if you don't use them all in your first year, you can use them in second year. So in first year, you get that 25% discount that I mentioned, but you lose that when you go into second year. If you don't end up using all of them by the end of your first year, it's not the end of the world. They are still there and you can use them in the future. That's just kind of the logistical side of the meal plan. Moving on, let's talk about my first year meal plan experience. I am the type of person that loves food, and food also really loves me. So this relationship can be problematic at times. You have to be really careful with what you're eating, and you have to make sure that you're eating a relatively balanced and nutritious diet. Being somebody who's very conscious of nutritional values and what I'm putting into my body, eating on a meal plan can be a little bit tricky because you don't necessarily know exactly what is going into that food. That was probably one of the biggest adjustments for me in the beginning. One thing that I used religiously in first term was this app called Nutrislice. It basically breaks down the nutritional value of everything that UBC sells in their dining halls. The only issue I have with this app is that it is not 100% accurate. Last time I checked, most food items do not contain about 753 grams of sugar or 963 grams of carbs. There were definitely a few things like that within the app that I'm really hoping were errors and not actual like numbers. I strongly recommend getting that if that is something you're kind of aware of, and whether you want to use it strictly as a menu or if you just want to actually use it for the purposes of looking at nutritional values, that works too. How I ate depended on what my daily schedule looked like. My Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, I had a little bit more time in the morning, so those were generally the days where I would go and eat in the dining hall. And then Tuesdays and Thursdays, because I had an 8 a.m. class, which is absolutely horrible, I would make myself a smoothie or some really quick like overnight oats. I was saving a little bit of money there. Then in terms of lunch, this changed from day to day. I would do my best to eat my lunch in my dorm, but there were definitely days where I had to buy stuff because I had nothing in my fridge. I always had some kind of stock of vegetables. I usually also had some tofu or beans, and so my lunches were usually a very random mix of things. In terms of snacks, I had all of that taken care of. I would go to Save on Foods or or take a few things from home. I think one of the biggest reasons why I did not suffer from the freshman 15, I suffered from the freshman 5. For me, I managed to eat relatively healthy, and I also managed to get to the gym, and I stayed hydrated, and I was not snacking a lot. The reason that I'm talking about this is that it's really important to think about how quickly those snacks add up. Because if you're eating like 2 or 3 meals a day, but you're snacking a whole bunch in between, that adds up to maybe a whole other meal. Or telling myself that we're not gonna buy snacks from the dining hall was a big help in regulating what I was consuming outside of my other meals. Having some snacks in my room that were like out of sight, out of mind really helped me kind of control that urge to snack. I have absolutely no willpower, so if there is a delicious looking chocolate bar sitting on that desk, I'm going to eat that delicious looking chocolate bar. I ended up keeping all my snacks under my bed, so like I only ever really thought about them when I like needed that snack. So that was something that actually kind of helped me just like control that a little bit. Moving on. Dinner time. One of the biggest issues that I had with most of the meals offered in the dining halls was that they were pretty much all starch based. Bro, I want my protein, I want my vegetables, I would just like a normal salad, but that was not always an option. Dinners were very tricky in the sense that if you wanted something that was nutritionally balanced, there was really only one station that you could go to, at least at the Vanier Dining Hall Gather. And oh my gosh, like I love this station. There was absolutely nothing wrong with it. It was delicious. So the station, Fresh Fare, definitely one of my favorites. Always did such a good job of making sure that the meals that they were providing us were balanced. Every night Fresh Fare had a protein, they had a starch, and then some kind of vegetable. And I loved them for it. And I was so thankful that there was that station because quite regularly I would go there and it would be different every single night and I would get some different kind of protein. And if I wasn't feeling it, then I could go somewhere else. I loved the burrito bowls at Totem. Oh my God, they were so good. And Open Kitchen, they are the only dining hall that has a chicken Caesar salad, and my God, that hits different. That is kind of my spiel about dining halls and eating in residence. Really quickly, before I kind of sign off, I just want to talk to you a little bit more about some things that you can do to help regulate your eating and help balance your diet, I guess. Like I said before, one of the biggest things is trying to be in control of what you're eating. For me, I position a lot of healthy foods as snacks. So for me, fruit is a snack, some nuts are a snack, you know, a granola bar is a snack, but for a lot of people, snacks might be fishy crackers or chips or popcorn. So for me, I kind of go, okay, healthy foods, yes, that is totally fine. My definition of snack is completely different from junk food, whereas for some people, snack and junk food are the same thing. Being careful with that and being aware of what you consider to be a snack is really helpful when you are trying to make sure you're not overeating, undereating, or just eating the wrong things altogether. In terms of trying to save a little bit of money when it comes to eating in residence, not eating out at restaurants regularly is probably the best thing that I could tell you to do. And the other part of that too is if you have the ability to save some money and put that aside for buying food like in bulk at a grocery store rather than on campus, that's a really great way to cut down your costs when it comes to certain meals or some of the things that you have in stock in your dorm. I would always have oatmeal on hand, I would have some seeds on hand, yogurt was a big thing, I would always have some almond milk, and then some fruits as well. Having stuff in your dorm that you can get creative with and make small meals with is a really great way to save money, and it's a great way to kind of keep yourself on your toes and excited about what you're gonna eat, because very quickly it gets boring. And really quickly, one last thing, if this would be of interest, let me know, because there were a couple recipes that I tried out during my first year for things that were easy to make in my dorm. So if that is something that would interest you, let me know. I would love to hear if that would be a hit. Anyways, that is pretty much it for this video. I hope you find that helpful. I hope that clears some things up. I will link some websites down below that I think might really help you guys out. That's pretty much it from me today. Thank you so much for watching. Please, if you want, you could subscribe. That would be lovely. That is pretty much all I have for you guys today. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Bye.